Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, how did it work out with this Bloggy demo? Did you manage to do it crude?
Kind of.
Just one of you.
I just receive a computer, so
Yeah, I know, Said, you have having problems, so I think you will catch up soon. So just get started with the new computers. So anyone else, did you try this blog demo? Just Iyad.
No, we are working on it.
Ah, perfect.
We are trying also. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping for, that at least trying. Emla didn't think it was easy. Okay. Yeah, now you start answering. Tommy also tried. So we gonna have a check on this mini project number 1. We're gonna check one way how to solve it. Maybe we could have a look on this blog post demo tomorrow. We're also gonna start with entity framework tomorrow. So I think we will solve it anyway. So I'm gonna show you one version that I made. I'm not gonna code it now. I'm just gonna show you my one way to solve it, because you start realizing now that there are so many ways to solve things. So we're gonna check on my solution, and we have been checking all your solutions, and you have been working very good. So many of your solutions are much better than mine. So I'm gonna share my screen. So see what we have here. So I have made this solution. This is not taking any input from the console. So we're just working with the preloaded data. So the important part is to show the usage of classes, objects, lists, and mixing items that have the same base. So they could be together in one list. And we're going to do some sorting. That's pretty much it. So you will see that my main here is just a few lines. So I have split it up. So you also realize now that after we've been doing our examples, it starts growing and growing. So the domain is containing so much code, so it's not easy to read it anymore. So that's a good way to start splitting things up, splitting them into methods, for example, and maybe moving to separate files and so on. This example is having everything in the same file still, but it has different methods. So it should be a little bit more easy to read the code. If you remember the requirements, anyone, what was the purpose? What did we need to reach? So maybe we should check the document again. So I'm gonna open it. No, that was the wrong window. How can it be that difficult? Yeah, there is the correct window. Sometimes Teams is playing with you. It's not behaving as you expected. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to try to find this instruction for the mini project. So there it is. Going to zoom it in a little bit. So asset tracking. So we needed to have a way to input data like laptops and phones and so on. And we're going to do all the levels now. But it will be the same base for them all. So I think you will manage to follow. So the thing was to create classes and objects. And there was like laptop computers is a class. Mobile phone is a class, for example, and these are objects out of that class. So MacBook and Asus and Lenovo. So you needed to create classes with the correct properties and having like purchase date and price, model name, and things like that. So it was a little bit flexible for you to choose what to add to your classes. So if we go back to the code, we could check our classes, and they are in the end of this long file list. So we're going to start to find asset. I just added a class named asset. So this will be the base. So this is containing all the properties I need. So I have like brand, model, purchase date. I have office, which is part of another class. I have price, currency, exchange rate. So this is my base class. And I created also a computer class that it's inheriting from the asset. So the only thing I have here is a constructor inside the computer. And we probably have another one also here somewhere. Yeah, I have the phone also, the same type here also, just inheriting the asset and having the constructor. So the constructor could have been in the asset also. So it's just to see that you can see that it's flexible to use. I also have this office class. It's only containing a name, a property name. So this is pretty small. I have also created an exchange rate class to keep track on the currency, if it's euros or dollars or whatever, and then a rate for each currency. So this is to keep track of, so you could calculate and get the right amount in your local currency. So this is what I prepared for my mini project. So I have like 5 classes. So I'm going to use them in my code. And the first line here, I want to have a list of assets. So this is actually what the user would be typing in. So this is what would end up in the list of assets. So you see this list of assets, it's calling a method called prepare assets. So if I go into that prepare assets by pressing F12, you will see what it's doing also here. First of all, I create 3 different offices with help of the office class. So I have 3 objects: Office Sweden, USA, and Spain. And then I create just a list of assets by mixing new computers and new phones. And because all these have constructors, I just need to add some data into them. So you will see that it's entering the office information so inside here, and that is with the help of the office objects out here. I also have made a small method named the getDate. So this is also a method. So if I go inside this with F12, you'll see it's just doing a parse. Taking the date and taking the string and making it to a date type. So this could have been done inside this method also, but I separated it so it's looking nicer, and it's telling you what it's doing also. So this is like simulating that this input would have been from a console, for example. So this is taking a string and making it to a date type. I'm also adding, let's see what it says. We have the purchase price, we have the currency and the local, the currency, yes, and the rate. So I have all in same, adding this to the constructors for the computer and phone, so I get everything in the same object. So this is just adding, I don't know how many there are, like 9 different assets. So mixing computers and phones, so they are not in a correct order. So we're going to make an order later on. So this is just returning a list of assets, this method. So we could go back to our main code here. Did everyone understand what this line made? So this was like simulating that the user has entered the data, and all the user data ends up in a list. So this is what I was trying to simulate. So preparing some data. I also have created a list of exchange rates, and that is also calling a method, prepare exchange rates. So if I go inside this one with F12, you see it's just returning a list of exchange rates, and I have been adding 3 of these. So this is also like in a hard-coded way, just returning some data. So some of you have been making some advanced things, that getting this from the internet and so on. So that was okay, but it was not necessary. So it was enough to have like 1 currencies just entered into the code. So this is just putting together a list of exchange rates. And it's only the currency, what do you call it, like US dollars, and then the rate. So because we are entering all the assets as dollars, so when you're converting US dollar, it's the same value. But otherwise, with Swedish crowns and euros, so you have different numbers. We will use them later on, so you will see how they are used. I should also mention that you see there's a lot of things here with comments, but they have 3 slashes. So this is made for adding comments to the methods. So you will see if you go with the mouse over the prepare here, it gives you a text, and you see it's my text that I have been writing here. So this is presented when you go with the mouse over it. So this is done by, if I take away this one, temporary. So if you're in a method like here, so you could add 3 times /, and it will enter this automatically. So this is some sort of a snippet. Input prices should be in US dollar. Yes, they should. So that's why I have this calculation of US dollars for 1. So it will be the same. Because this is an exchange rate for US dollars. It was a question from Victor. So this thing it's pretty nice to have with these comments about the code. So if I go back for this main menu, where did it go? Like here, you see prepare assets, for example. So it's showing you a text on what's happening. So this is the text I created with the help of these 3 forward slashes. So I tried to add it for every method, so you could see like what they are doing, and so it's giving the user help, that is the one that is coding. So this could be something that you have made for someone else also. So it's a good way to have it in your code. So back to business here. We've done these 2 lines now. Prepare the list of assets and prepare the list of exchange rates just. Then I see that I have commented this away. I have 2 sort methods. One was for level 2, I think, the first one, and the second one is for level 3. So it's just a different type of sorting. So, and the sorting is I do it on the assets list. So I'm sending in the list and replacing it with the answer from this method. So if you check this method, then this method is returning a list of assets. That is why it says like this. Otherwise, if you have a method that is not returning anything, it would say void. So that means it's not returning anything. But you could have your type, or in this case, it's a list of objects it's returning. So you need to tell that in the method, before the method name. And I'm taking also an input parameter, which is a list of assets also. And this is just doing this link order by. So you will see it's sorting on the office name and then by purchase date and making it to a list. And return assets. So this means that this method is returning a sorted list. So this will go back to this position, and it will set this variable to the new values. I had the other one also. We're going to check about it. It should be here somewhere also. Yeah, this is the other sort I had commented away. So it was sorting on type and then on purchase date. So that was for level 2. And what was specific inside here, I take the type of the object and then get the name. So this means that I get the class type for each object. So if it's a phone, this will find out that this is a phone, and I could get out the name. So it will give back a result of phone. So this is the built-in functionality. You could have added this so you get the information from the class also, like having a method inside the class, like we did last week when we had some examples on this. So we go back to our code. So now, let's see, we only have 2 lines left here, but they are actually doing a lot more than it seems to be. So you can start with the print header. It's pretty easy. And you know what it will do. So it will do a lot of write lines just to have all the columns that we are presenting data for. You see I added something here like calling it tab. That is also a method I created. And you see what the text says. It says pad write with 14 characters on a string. So this, if you check this method also with F12, you will see it will return a string and it's taking in a string input also. And what it does, it's adding pad write to the string and returning it back. So this could have been accomplished by, where did it go? So this could have been accomplished by doing like doing a pad write on the string right away. So this, I've been doing the same thing. So I just made it, I think, easy to read, maybe not. Otherwise you would add this pad write and everything here. So just, that's a personal taste of that. So I thought this should be easy to read. So this is just creating the columns and adding some lines underneath. So making it so beautiful. So we try to go back to our main menu here. So now we just have one line left here. It's print data. And we are sending in assets. That is our sorted list of assets and our list of exchange rates. So this print data method is taking these two lists as input. So I'm going to do something with these lists. So if I go into this print data, you will see it's taking these inputs. And it's a void, so it means it's not returning anything more back to the position where we call this from. So what does this do then? It's just one line inside here. So it takes the assets and do a for each. This is the link for each. This is another way to make an for each loop. I just added it for getting some variations for you to see there's different ways to do it. So I could have been writing this with a for loop or a normal for each, or I used the link for each. So what does this one do, this line? It's with the lambda expression. I take out one asset at a time, and that asset I will insert into another method. So you will see this is also a method. And that method is taking one asset and the list of exchange rates. Do you get it? So for each asset I find inside this list, I run this command or this method. So this will loop until it reaches the end of the assets. So we could check what this is doing, this method then. So you will see that this is taking one asset and the list of exchange rates. These are the inputs for this method. And now we start doing something. We start checking on these dates, with the 30 months and 33 months. So I made it to days instead of months. So I calculated how many days it's 30 months, for example. This is no exact science, so this is it's difficult with dates because each month has different amount of days. And sometimes you have a leap year, so it's 1 extra day. So this is taking approximately 30 months is equal to 913 days. And also the 33 months is approximately 1,004 days. And as always, this could be done in many ways also. So this is not the only way. So I take a difference on, because now this method is taking one asset at a time. So I take the purchase date from the asset here. And I have this time span diff. So this date time as this second minus the purchase date of the asset. So this will give me a difference. So this diff I will use then in you see it's a lot of methods. And this is just for making it easier to separate what each thing is doing. So it could look very strange and hard to understand, but it should make it easier to read. So this, you see this function, for example, this says decide foreground color. So it's just checking the days we have here and what color to use. So if you go for this one, so you will see it's different levels of methods being used. So this is just calculating the diff, number of days in the diff, and seeing if it's higher than the alarm level that was 900 and what something days. Then we put the color to red. Then we do another check. If it's not, we check if it's more than the days warning. That was the other number. So we turn it yellow. And otherwise we just leave it white. So we are checking for each asset now what the difference is in date, purchase date and today now. And depending on that number, how many days it is, we set the color. And I should mention that this is also something that could be done in so many different ways. So I've seen from your examples also, there's been different ways to calculate this, but all end up in the same end product. So this is just for calculating what color to use. So if you go back where we called for this one, you see it's just setting the color that to be used. And then we continue here. We're going to take the rate out of the exchange rates. So you're going to check with the currency of this asset, what it is. So it's SEK or euros or US dollars. It will take that value and check inside this exchange rate list. And this exchange rate list, it had 3 different currencies. So this is just searching for the value that the asset is having to find the correct rate. So this is it's a lot of link here. So we start with the exchange rates list, and we check where this currency is equals to the asset's currency. Tommy, is it okay in your opinion to split that long line, this line? If it's okay, yes, it's okay. If this is what you are asking, Tommy, yes, you could split this. This is no problem. So you could do it do it in many different ways, just doing it like this if it's making it easy to read. So this is still doing the same thing. So what I want to get out of this exchange rates list is the rate actually. So I just want the one value. So it was, if it was US dollars, I wanted the value 1.0. And if it was the Swedish, I got the currency for that. So this is just, I'm just taking out one value. So just to use it in the calculations. And then I have this value, I continue with hopefully the final step here. Now it's just going to print out the data to the console. And still, this is just one asset. So you remember higher up in the, where we started separating them to each for assets, this will be repeated until all assets are done. So this print data line is taking one asset and the rate we just calculated. And this is also just printing out the data with the console write line. And I'm using the tab here to add this 14 spaces or 14 characters width. And then I start taking out some information. So I get from the asset, I get the type. So I get the type of class I have and then the name of it. So it would be like phone or computer, I think the options I had. And then it's printing out the brand, model, office, and taking the name of that. Add a purchase date to short date string, so it's just showing like the date without any time values. We take the purchase price to string with the formatting of just having 2 decimals. We're printing out the currency, if it's USD or euros, so what it is. And finally, we calculate the local price and print it out. So the asset purchase price in dollars divide with this rate value that we calculated. And this is also to string with the 2 decimals in output. So this is actually all. So now we're back here in the beginning. So we've done all these steps. And this print data was many steps because it's started with a list of assets. And then from that we took one asset at a time and figured out what colors to use and do the calculations and finally print the data out. So we could have a look and see if this is working actually. So this is giving us this look now. So this is sorted by the office first and then by the purchase date, I think it was, yeah. So we have all the Spain office things here and then the Swedish and then the USA. And it's also, we have this information, the type information it's coming from the object and get type function. So it's giving us the names. What else then? You see, yes, you see we have the local price here. It's calculated with help of this purchase price that was in US dollar and then using the rate for the euro, for example. So we get this new value here. So this could be one way to solve it. And there are many ways to solve it actually, so just remember that. Do you have any questions on this?
Will you put up this code in the review so we can take a look at it?
Yes, I will add it to the files section. So this is just one way, and I've seen those of your examples that we've been viewing. No one is the same, so think of that also, that there are so many ways to solve it. And this is not taking care of any input errors or something like that. So this is, I made it a little bit easy for myself. So I wanted to focus on the things that was required for the, and what we have been going through. So we have these classes, objects, lists, and what else we did? We have mixed. So we have one base asset type, and the phone and computers are inheriting from that. So you can mix them in the same type of lists. But that's also a strength with this, that you can combine things that are having the same base class. So it's a nice feature that could present the data like this. So any questions? So this was level 3 actually. So for those of you thinking that about level 1, you could take away many of these parts from this code to get level 1. Because there was no price calculations and things like that. So this would shorten the code a lot. So any more questions? I take that for no questions. So I will add my code also for the files section in Teams. So those of you that want to have a look, you can see it in a few minutes. And otherwise, continue with the material we have. And if you still have something to do with this blog post demo, so please try to finish it if you can. So we had some examples yesterday with the cars. So we had the full CRUD with the cars. So it should be pretty close to what you could do with the blog post demo to achieve CRUD for that one also. But if you have time tomorrow, we could have a look at the blog post demo also. But we're going to start with entity framework tomorrow also. That is also with databases. So that is something that we are going to use later on also in this course. So it will be more entity framework than this ADO thing that we have been doing now. So entity framework is something that is on top of ADO.NET. So it's the ADO is always there in the background, even if you are using the technique with entity framework. What do we do with Bloggy demo? Push it onto GitHub. Yes, you could do it. We are not going to check your solutions for that. That is just an exercise for yourself. So, but add it to the GitHub so you get the experience of how to use GitHub also. I think it could be a good way to always do it with all the examples we're running. So you will get it easy to not need to think about how to use GitHub. Do we have anything else? So Ayad is asking if exactly should we redo the examples you did yesterday with blog post? Yes. Not exactly, but you should achieve that the blog post can do this: create new data, read data, update data, and delete data. So the blog post demo today is just read and update. So you should need to extend it so it's covering the full CRUD. So that was the purpose with today's blog post demo. So that is the same that you had yesterday. So I'm just adding extra features to it. So you need to see how the menu is working and connecting that together. So it's not just straightforward. So it will take us a time to do that. And the rest of you that have done everything and are already waiting for the next step, you could have a look on what's coming up with the entity framework. So entity framework will be a big part for us that we will have until the rest of this course. Okay, otherwise, see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.